Hi everyone, I am working on some Easter projects today. I am making these fun eggs. One of them uses a new to us material, and then the other one uses the instructions from a project that we've made previously. So stick with me and I will show you how to make these two variations on Easter eggs. For this first variation on the Easter eggs, I am using these paper doilies. These ones came from Michael's, from the baking aisle. They are Wilton brand, and they're just paper doilies that you would often use to decorate underneath cupcakes or cakes. I have also seen them in the dollar store, so be sure to keep your eye out for them. Sometimes they're in the craft aisle, and sometimes they're with the baking stuff. So there's just some options there. They're a fun little craft item to have on hand. Now for this project, I am just painting the doilies. You can see I have two here. I ended up painting 4, and I'm using watercolor paints to paint them in. And there's no rules about how to paint them in, just whatever colors you choose. And it adds a nice, fun kind of challenge to painting for your loved one because of the texture and the pattern. So there's a little bit of a challenge involved there. It requires different hand-eye coordination and a bit more skill when it comes to the fine motor skills just because of the texture. There's bumps that you need to paint over top of, and it's different from painting on top of regular old plain white paper. So go ahead and paint those in, and then you can put them to the side and let them dry, and we'll work on the next step. So I've included a template of an egg shape. I'll put the link for that in the description. It's free to print that off. So I'm using my template here, and I have flipped it over because I can see the outline of the egg through the back of the paper. And taking my doilies, I am just going to glue those on top of wherever the egg would be. So just covering up the egg. And as always, I am using purple disappearing glue because it's easier for the eye to see where the glue has been placed before putting the doily on top of it. So now that the egg shape is completely covered up, I am flipping it over, and I'm going to use that black line as a guide to cut. And now I have a nice and neatly shaped Easter egg. And just a few little touch-ups with the glue. But there's the first one, nice and colorful. The doilies really add a nice kind of looking texture to it. Now for this next variation on the Easter egg, I use a snowflake that I've made in a previous project. I will put the tag for that up above. This snowflake happens to be colored in, but you can make just a plain white snowflake as well. And the directions on how to make a snowflake are all in that video, so check that out. Once you have your snowflake made, you can glue it, like I have here, onto a solid colored piece of construction paper. Now, depending on the skills of your loved one, they may enjoy the challenge of gluing the snowflake onto the paper, or you may have to do it for them. It does require a little bit of hand-eye coordination and some good fine motor skills, just because there's lots of little edges to glue down. Now that I've got my snowflake glued down, I'm taking my egg template and I'm cutting out the egg as a guide for me to trace around. I'm putting the egg onto the snowflake and construction paper and tracing that shape onto the paper, and then I'm going to cut it out. Now, of course, you don't have to use the template for this step. If you want to freehand draw your egg, I say go for it. And there's my second egg. And there you have it, 2 variations on paper Easter eggs that you can use as a decoration. I have mine hanging up in the window just to bring a little bit of Easter cheer to whoever comes by the door. These days it's usually the mail lady, but hey, if it brings a smile to someone's face, it is totally worth it. And there you go. I hope you enjoyed that and that you get a chance to make your very own Easter eggs for the season. Do me a favor and hit that like button, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks, bye.